Pala yun. Akala ko maganda
Kanya-kanyang
lang.
allergies.
Yun pala yun. Nagbabahing in English.
Sneezing.
Sneezing.
Yeah.
Sneezing
Sneezing.
ba?
Spell
Yeah.
sneezing.
Sneezing.
Is that what it's called?
As
E
N-E-E-Z.
es is sneezing.
What?
ESNIS
Huh?
Sneezing.
NING. Is sneezing. Nagbabahin.
Nagbabahing.
In English is sneezing.
So, para siyang like you're saying you're studying, but in English, in Filipino English, it's studying. Is that right? Studying.
What were you saying?
No?
Pagka maaraw,
She
you
said
are
like if
sneezing.
it's sunny,
Yeah.
she's sneezing.
Yeah, pag hindi ako nag-wear ng sunglasses.
And you,
Uh,
anong connection kaya nun, no? It's bright. Her
Yeah,
eyes
sa
get
eyes.
it's
affected.
it's something with your eyes. Like for me
Yeah.
talaga, if it's too bright, I get headaches, like excruciating headaches. I wouldn't say it's migraines, but well, it could be migraines, but I don't know. That's why I'm always summertime. I'm always look. I have this, so owl eyes and whatnot. I always have this. That's
The
crazy.
headaches, I understand. The sneezing, which I do witness, I do see it. Now she sneezes more when it is sunny. I don't get the connection.
Yes.
So when
I
she
get the
walks out,
connection with
good. She's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, ilang beses kapag naaarawan yung eyes. Ilang beses, no? Sa motor.
Yeah. In
Oh,
English,
grabe.
it's called maarte.
Yeah.
No, it's called
Hindi ko siya
snot in your back.
mapigilan. Yeah, hindi
So,
ko siya mapigilan.
Puro kulangot dito sa likod ng sa likod ng ano ni Noel kasi
Noel.
nakagano. It's like, oh, it's so
She's actually wearing a mask.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're wearing a mask, you're tasting your own boogers.
Yeah.
Di ba nakagano? And then it ricochets and then it goes back. Oh, sarap.
Do you remember the first time that you wore a mask during COVID? Like,
Yeah.
This is what my breath smells like.
Yuck. So bad thought.
It's like, oh my God, ang baho pala na hininga ko.
Yeah.
Anyway,
You guys ready?
two guys from two sides of the world. The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. You can catch us live online on YouTube and Facebook Monday, Wednesdays, and Sundays. And now, your hosts, Jay and Noel. So, real quick. When COVID started, I started playing a little game to myself.
Oh.
Can you smell what you ate? So, but the worst was I stopped playing that game because a couple weeks or a week or two into the pandemic when you had to wear a mask, right? Am I coming in too loud or no?
That's just right.
Okay. So
Oh yeah,
we had longanisa for breakfast, right? I mean, I don't know about you, but if you eat breakfast with longanisa and drink coffee and then you burp,
Yeah.
tad too loud.
too loud. Holy bejesus, man.
Just a
Grabe
tad.
yung... Okay, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Better?
Longanisa.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember.
Longanisa.
Yeah, grabe pag if you burp while you eat, you had breakfast with longanisa and coffee. If you ever smell that burp trapped into a mask, holy bejesus. I mean, you want to pass out like tomorrow. Pero sarap ha. Breakfast of champions. Good morning. Welcome to episode 138 of The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. How's everybody doing today?
I don't have any contribution to that experience because I'm like,
You told me
Or pag kumain ka ng pho, and then you burp inside that mask. Oh my god! And then you're eating raw onions and tripe. Oh yeah, delicious. You should try that.
so those mask COVID days are kind of gone, unless we choose to wear the mask. But nowadays, the thing that I always put on my face is the balaclava for the motorcycle. And this
The
is another
what?
story. It's called the balaclava, the one that goes in between your head and the helmet.
Full
The
mask.
the head mask. I mean the full
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
I
a
mean,
yeah,
it's a ninja mask,
the robber mask.
but I call it after I wear it once, so I get sweaty. Right, in the Philippines, it's so humid. There's no way you're
Hmm.
not gonna sweat. And then so I take a trip, stop, take off the mask, do my thing, and then if I wear it again, I call it wearing a panty on my head or
Oh
underwear on my head.
God, that's so
It's
gross.
it's so stinky, and
No,
It's the Magna 3000. That's the model.
come to think of it, I could be bringing other balaclavas on the trip so I can have a fresh one. Okay, why didn't I think of that? Ba't di ko maisip gawin yun, no? Para
Yun na
social.
nga
Every
eh.
time I wear the helmet,
yeah.
it's a new balaclava on my head.
You have a lot of balaclava, but
Yun nga eh. But there's only one that I like to wear. It's
favorite
like
niya
my
kasi.
favorite lucky underwear
Like tibak
Oh.
daw.
that I like to wear all the time. Ay, so is the life of riding a
Pang-asar eh,
motorcycle.
no?
Yeah.
Kaya pag hinahanap niya sa akin, like, asan na ba yung tibak?
Sana ba yung
Anong
panty ko?
tibak? Oh God, come on, man.
We have our own lenguaje, our own language. So for
Yeah,
other
yeah.
motorcyclists that are right beside us, like, anong tibak? Anong underwear pinag-uusapan nito? So, anyway, we digress. So
That's
today's
gotta
title
be
is
so. Hold on. Can't you buy like a spray that you can spray the inside of that thing?
you'd still be masking the smell. It's still the same thing.
Oh God, that's so gross. Tapos pag ganun mo sa ulo mo, oh yeah, libag.
One time, alam mo ginawa niya? One time, sobrang baho ng mask, di ba, niya.
Oh,
Pinagpoy pa naman sa akin, inano sa ilong ko. Sabi ko, yak, may lawan.
One time,
Laway na panis.
all the time. All the time. Pareho din yun. I mean, you're smelling the back of his head. Di ganun din. Diba?
Hindi,
Duyo.
mas malala yung
Pag-
kanya kasi may medyas na bulok.
That's just gross.
No, tama na, tama na, tama na.
Tawa.
Wala pa yung delivery mo. Baka kailangan mo na umalis. Oh,
It's
we're
the
on
big one.
Twitch? Wow. Hello. What do you call people that are on Twitch? Hello, Twitchy people.
Tweakers? I don't know. Twitchers? I don't know.
Twitchies. So people are, yeah. Good morning, Jay.
Good morning.
Evening here. What are we talking about today? For real, for real. What's the serious stuff? The ridiculous
So-
culture in America. We're gonna go
Correct.
back. Why did we? Let's circle back on this later. But why did we end up talking about this again? Because people are complaining about it.
No, before you talk, so a few months ago we had a discussion and we talked about it because I brought it up because I was complaining about the tipping. And then
right.
now this video that you sent, which is basically came out a couple of weeks ago or a couple months ago and whatnot, and it's I don't know. It came out about the same time that we were talking about it, really, and it's a lot bigger than we actually thought. You know,
Yeah, I thought it's worth talking about again. Every time we go to a restaurant, we see like,
Right.
whatever sign it says on the tipping on the menu. And it's like, would be fun to talk about on the podcast again, just to put it in your face about the tipping culture here in the Philippines versus there. So,
other things that we're gonna talk about real quick. My actual decision on who I'm finally going to vote for this year's presidential election, which is going to be my very, very first time in life voting, for a presidency. Also, a little bit of a FYI for people in the Philippines or anywhere else scamming tourists and whatnot. And is the world booting up or rebooting itself? The crazy weather that's going on all over the world, not just the weather, really, natural disasters and all that stuff.
okay. What else you got?
So basically, let's go down the list here. This year's U.S. presidential candidates have finally been completed, and whatnot. So as it turns out, it looks like it is going to be President Joe Biden versus Donald J. Trump for the
Wow.
2024
That's it.
presidential election.
They're locked and loaded. Those are the two choices.
Yeah, Biden for Democratic Party and Trump for the Republican Party. And sad to say, I am a little bit disappointed that this is going to be my candidates for my very first presidential election.
You're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yeah, I got no choice. Do I? I mean, at the state of the country, not only in the way as it stands economically and for the people,
Mm.
unfortunately, the Democratic Party has kind of, well, in my point of view, it has failed its citizens. I'm sorry. I know I'm gonna get some hate in regards to that, but you know what? I am finally officially announcing that I will be voting for President Donald Trump soon. Yeah. Because do I want to have the same thing that's been going on the past 4 years? Or do I need a man that's probably going to cause some ruckus but get shit done eventually?
Yeah, I was
Hopefully.
wondering about Biden. Is he? How is he? Is he still walking? I mean, how's his
He's
health and
fine.
everything?
I mean,
He hasn't had any slips or anything like that. He's,
no. The president is healthy. He is.
Mm,
I'm glad that he's healthy, but I'm sad to say that his decisions for the country has kind of been, you know.
mm,
With all honesty, Trump might be causing some issues more and whatnot, especially with safety for the country. With the world being as it is, everybody's down each other's throats. Do I want to have something like someone like him or Biden right now? Ah, man, I have
Are you
no
gonna
choice. What's that? Go ahead.
Are you gonna put a Trump flag or a Trump
No,
poster outside on your house?
no,
Let everybody know that you're a.
no. I'm voting for him in secret. Since nobody, since people only catch snippets of the podcast here and there, I'm voting for him in secret.
Right, but you're not gonna publicize it, put it all over your car, like all
No,
these
no.
posters in his face, like
No, no. It's he. Those are the only two options I have. You know, at this point, if there was a better third party that was running, oh heck yeah, I'd go for that probably. You know,
hmm,
I was really hoping for either Marianne Williamson with the Democratic Party, or I can't pronounce her last name, the Republican woman that was running as well. What was her name? Haley. Well,
yeah, we hardly hear about those guys here.
yeah, but I was hoping to vote for one of those women. They were very, very deserving of it as well. There was an
Mm,
Indian personnel or person that was running, but his views and antics were great until it got a little bit too extreme for me. And now this actually there was Kennedy who was running a Kennedy bloodline who was actually running for as a third party. Unfortunately,
mm.
he bowed out as well. I would have voted for Kennedy,
So
but
how do all of those things work? I mean, did they all run out of money? Did they just not win the local elections? How does it
they
kind of
so they go through they run throughout it, and then there's local what do you call that? It's
caucus?
like it's caucus, yeah, and
Yeah.
they're trying to see if they're getting votes there or whatnot, if their percentages goes up or down. See, and then they'll decide if they're gonna continue or not. A lot of
How
them
does it?
bowed out because Trump is just too popular.
Yeah, how do the percentages go up and down? Do they do like little votes,
Yeah, I
mini
believe they
votes
do.
here and there?
Caucuses, correct.
Oh,
Yeah. Um,
oh,
I don't. Trump is just way too popular. I mean, they're the other Republican parties or runners just did not stand a chance. As soon as I saw that he's running again, I was like,
mm.
I was hoping Haley, I think it's Haley, that had enough push, but unfortunately, Trump's there's just no way to stop that. And then with Democratic Party as is, there was just nobody going over or going after President Biden. So,
May ganun ba tayo dito? Parang we don't have anything like that, di ba? Parang
well, in
here,
the Philippines, go ahead. Sorry.
yeah, the race is all the way up until the end. You
Correct.
don't get kicked out. It's not like Pinoy Big Brother.
Oh,
you get
tama, tama,
you
tama.
get voted out.
Right, right. Also in the Philippines, though, so you know how you have the vice president and the president. Typically, they don't
Mm,
run together. Okay,
mm, mm,
and
mm,
then the president for the one party, the Democratic Party, could win, and then the vice president for the Republican Party would win, and then
mm,
they would have to work together.
mm,
Right.
mm, mm,
A
mm,
lot of times in the Philippines, it's like that as well.
mm, mm.
It'd be nice if that's something that could work here. You know.
Yeah. So how is it there? They run with the vice president already.
Correct. And if the presidency wins for the Democratic for that one party, automatic the vice president or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not just one election, really.
I remember last year, previous president, like president wants to go this way, vice president wants to go that way.
Yeah, yeah.
They're like,
That's the problem there. It could cause some problems, which could lead to a bit of a problem with the presidential office or terms. You know, meaning for that
mm.
while they're going. But yeah, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. I'm voting for President Trump most likely.
Again.
Again, well, I never voted for him for the first time, but because I couldn't. But now that I'm able to vote, unfortunately, I have to say that I have to vote for President Trump.
choose the better evil.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're both bad, but
So this is November.
November. Yes, this year. Yeah.
Mababa pang months.
Yeah.
Here's the
Gosh.
point thing though. Trump, he was viewed as yes, he was a little bit of a crazy and a wild card in regards to the way he was running things, but it kind of makes sense in some points as well, you know, because he does a lot of his train of thought and a lot of his train of thinking. It's for the people. If you look about it, if people just really look at it, you know.
I had the impression that Trump had a lot more done versus Biden seemed to try to keep things safe.
But he
I
definitely
don't
got a
know.
lot of things started. And regarding safety wise, oh man, Trump had things more controlled. You know,
I don't
plus
know
the
much.
border issue. Don't even get me started with the border issue.
Yeah, yun nga. So well, I mean, I don't necessarily agree or disagree with the wall, but at least it got started or something happened. I mean, there turned out to be a hole somewhere in the end, but you know what I mean,
Right.
something happened. But I kind of feel like little that I know about Biden's administration so far, it's like
Mhm.
something gets started or something gets sort of half started and it doesn't really finish. Is that a fair?
He's piggyback riding on a lot of what President Obama did as well. You know,
Yeah, parang the decisions aren't like
right,
felt hard decisions that were made, like that were sort of black and white kind of.
right,
It was
right,
kind of like, let's not touch it. Somebody might get hurt, kind of.
right.
Diba? Parang I kind of get that impression, like little that I know about what's been
It's
going
just
on
the
there.
way the from my perspective, the train of thought for these presidents. I mean, the last good president's train of, I mean, that I could imagined in my lifetime or that I actually experienced for
Mm.
the country was President Obama. I mean, he was really good. You know, before that, it was Bush for the first President Bush. You know,
Mm.
so anyway, I don't want to linger on it too much. Moving on. That's all.
Feel sorry for you,
Yeah, I know.
but yeah, it's exciting.
Um,
It's weird though that you only have two at the end. It's like that's it. Like as early as March, April, you find out that you only have. So from
Yeah.
now until November, you're like, nah.
well, 2 years prior, um, they're just always what you call it. 2 years prior, that all these candidates that are
Yeah.
running already, and then everybody decides later on. Okay,
Right. No. I'm just saying that here it's kind of like last minute. You kind of find out the end result at
Ah,
the end. You don't
yeah.
really find out who the two best are
right,
up until the last day.
yeah,
So it's not like it's not kicked out. But I understand because of all the states. That's the way they did the whole caucus thing. I was wondering if they were going to do something like that here
Hmm,
in the
hmm.
Philippines, but I guess they didn't. So, well, it's just kind of weird just knowing that you only have those two options from April to November, April, May, June,
Pretty
July, August,
much.
September,
Well,
October,
typically
November,
it's a lot longer. I mean, it
six,
just
7 months.
it all depends on how soon or how later does the candidate stay.
May
That's it.
mga ano pa ba?
Yeah.
May mga hindi rin ba bumoboto?
Oh, madami. There's a lot of people that don't vote. You know,
Yeah. Yung ano
a
nga
lot
daw
of people
kay,
that don't register. To be honest with you,
yeah, yung kay
that's it.
Obama nga daw yung maraming nag-vote eh.
Oh, that's nice.
Like a
Oh,
lot of
for the
people
first
came
time.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
ba't hindi ulit nag-run si Obama?
I think he was on for 2 terms
He was
already,
on
right?
he was on for 2 terms, and that's it. Yeah, you
Hindi
can
na
only do
pwede.
two.
Di na
Yeah,
pwede. Bakit si Trump?
dalawa lang.
Si Trump once, he got impeached, tama ba?
No, no.
He
He
didn't
served
get
his term. He didn't run the
postponed.
second term.
Okay. Yun,
Because
so
he was
meron pa
about to
siyang,
get impeached.
May isa
Yeah,
pa.
yeah, he can do another one. Kasi
correct. And then that's it.
hindi siya nanalo or hindi niya kinuha yung second term niya.
Oh.
Hindi niya kinuha yung second term.
So,
Yeah, that's it for him.
anyway, I just wanted
Moving
to milk
on.
it dry.
So
Go for
moving
it.
on. You guys sent me a video. If I can show you real quick, this is kind of funny how this guy the tricycle driver that was scamming the tourist.
Yeah. My
Can
She's
you
seen
imagine?
it. She shared it with you. I haven't actually seen this one yet.
You haven't seen this one. Okay, let me
Maybe
share it to you. Let me know if you can hear it, okay?
5,000.
No,
Yeah.
it's too much, bro. 1,000 is too
How
much.
much? How much? You.
I give you 200.
They 500.
No, I can't give you
500. You say 250. Turn around.
No, I wanted to marketplace. You don't understand.
First he said 5,000, by the way.
Yeah.
That's ito yung sa Binondo, di ba?
Yeah.
That's where my grandfather got married
Married.
Oh, nice.
That's
At that
right.
church?
in
Yeah.
that church. Yeah.
That's awesome.
This video reminds me of another vlogger. I forget her name,
Haley Dasovich.
Dasovich, right? She also had like a vlog about another
Yeah, the
taxi
cab
in
driver.
Yeah. I think you were the one that shared that with me.
Yeah, that's Will Dasovich's sister.
Yun. So similar idea. They're trying to get one over the foreigner. But
Correct.
it's funny because Haley lives here, but she looks and probably acts like she's a foreigner. So I'm
Well, she's
curious
definitely American.
No, but she knows the ways. You know, she's lived here long enough that's to know that that's not the price. I'm curious about this guy here now with this tricycle driver. Does he know how much it's supposed to cost?
Well,
he just-
somewhat. You know, the guy was like asking for first. He says $100 for crying out loud. You know, in what world is that even possible?
Does he know that that's ridiculous, or
Yeah, he does.
he was about
So-
to fall for it?
Well, this guy goes from 5,000 to 500, and then all of a sudden 200 or 250. I'm like, come on, dude! It's obvious you're trying to scam the guy.
Yeah, but
All right, let me play this
ano,
real quick.
Yeah, but the transportation there is only 30 pesos.
Right.
You don't understand me, right? 200, okay.
250.
200.
250.
200.
250.
No,
I said
200.
250.
Listen to what he's about to say. The scammer.
Change.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you give. Oh, what is this, bro?
150.
I go. What? Give. No, this,
150 my tip.
you have paper money.
My tip.
Oh
Paper
my God.
He's asking for 250 plus tip.
Oh my God, edi, ano na yun? 150
Sobra, so-
plus 250. Edi 500 din.
Yeah, ganun din.
Well,
Anong takot
Wait.
siya?
I go change the money. I go change.
You must always
Yeah.
a barrier, sir, in the Philippines because some other tricycle drivers not
Yes, they try to rip me off every time.
okay.
250 he wants. It's okay? Too much?
Too much.
250 here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You go.
You ripped me off, but it's okay. You rich man now. You're a rich man. He ripped me off.
Can you imagine that?
Here's the thing. There's a couple of things that you could look at this. Na parang he was just milking that because he knew that he was taking a video.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure, like, I mean, the short answer would be if you don't agree with the price, don't haggle or don't try to negotiate. Just say, oh, okay, thanks, I'll just walk, and then go
Yeah.
ask someone else.
One
Right,
hundred and
right.
30
Ask 2 or 3 other tricycle drivers, and then ask 2 or 3 other pedestrians.
Right.
Is it correct that I'm being charged 250 pesos? That's one way to do it. Of course, that's so tedious, though.
I remember sa Baguio nung sumakay ka ng taxi, di ba? Pinaperahan tayo. Remember that?
Yeah.
Na nagalit ka. What? Sabi mong ganun.
Yeah, but like you just get upset for 1 second, but don't like negotiate. Like, okay, 500. Oh no, okay, 250. It's like,
Like,
Don't
I
even
remember
bother.
nung baba tayo, sabi mo, baba mo na lang kami dyan.
Sayang
Sabi
lang
mo.
yung laway
Kaya
mo.
ginanon mo yung driver.
As a tourist, I mean, he shouldn't have gotten on the tricycle immediately. He probably got on, not really asking how much or whatever, even though he already has a little bit of an idea. and then he just
Yeah.
went on anyway, and then
That,
he got scammed basically.
that's that's the problem. You get hostage because you're already sitting in there.
Right, that's it. And then it's there's also another video where there's like I guess two friends trying to scam or scam the passenger as well on a tricycle.
Mm.
You know, and they were asking a ridiculous amount of money as well. But there's scammers in the for scamming tourists happens everywhere in the world. Um, there's one in Bali that's all over TikTok where money exchange, and in plain sight, the
I
guy's
saw
like,
that.
sliding money off the counter and whatnot. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
it's like a little magic trick.
Right, right, right. So with this guy, what do you think he should have done? Really?
Yeah, there's two mentalities. There's two ways of thinking about it. Like
Hmm.
one way is milk the conversation because you're shooting a video and you want to, put it up online and it's good content. Like go ahead, like you go back and forth. 250, no 300, no 500. No, you said a while ago. Say, oh yeah, you're scamming me. You do that kind of thing because you know that you're shooting a video, but in reality or in real life, IRL, if you don't
Hmm.
have a camera and you don't want to waste your time, if it's kind of sort of do your research first before you get there. I know it's stupid, right? And it's
Right.
a waste of time, but you want to be smart about it. But and another way to think about it is that 250, 300 Westerners, I don't know, dare I
That's
say
six
this,
dollars
that's like
roughly.
spare change. That's not really a lot of money, I think, because you
Yeah,
guys
but
are
it's the
not you.
principle of it.
Right. So that's another way to think about it, which is why I also don't blame the tricycle driver that's trying to get one over him because he knows that $6 is like spare change for the guy. You know what I mean?
Uh
I
yeah, I don't like that chain of thought though.
I'm not saying that what he's doing is right, but what I'm just saying is I can see his idea that if he's going to give me the $6, then
Mhm.
I'll take the $6. Why am I going to settle for one, two, $3? You know what I mean?
Why not milk it as much as I can?
I don't lose anything for trying.
Uh,
I don't
but
know.
you
I
would
don't know.
think though, you would think as the tricycle driver, I'm sure he saw what happened with Haley Dasovich. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, that she posted it online, and that guy made a complete jackass of himself. Because of that, he lost his license, he lost his driving a cab privileges and all that stuff. You would think that this guy seeing a camera wouldn't really get into it too much. Grabe, I mean, ngayon,
Right.
I'm sure this guy is probably catching crap online, unless he
Yeah.
really just doesn't care.
Actually, come to think of it, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. No, because one way to think about it, like, I don't know, ugaling tondo. Not to say that it's bad, but it's hustling. You got to give credit to the guy for trying to hustle. Yun lang yun. I'm not saying that
yeah, but not like that. It's on camera, on
yeah,
camera. So now I'm a TikTok star. No,
yeah.
no, that's not worth it
Because
to me.
because just playing devil's advocate here.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Can you imagine when he goes back to his tricycle terminal
yeah.
and the tricycle drivers say, "Oh, how much did you get? 100, 200 pesos," knowing that the fare is only 20, 30, 40, 50 pesos, right?
Yeah.
It's like, sana, you should have tried, like 150, 200, 5, 6, $7. Sana, you,
Mm.
you should have just tried. Parang they'd laugh at him for not trying.
Right, right. And then when they catch him and see it online, they're practically gonna tell him, "Di sana nagmask ka. Diba? You should have put a mask on." Right?
Yeah, parang they bully him or make fun of him for not trying to squeeze 6, 7, 8, 9, $10 out of
Yeah.
him.
I believe in karma too much, and I believe that everybody gets what they deserve eventually, or
But
what's
but
coming
not
to them.
not to say that he should have. That I understand that
Yeah.
it's okay to try to get $500 or 5,000
Right.
pesos, $100 off of him. Just how guys just mess around with each other, like, you're such a weakling. You should have
Right.
tried to get $10 out of him. Like whether he takes it seriously or not, he's just they're just blowing smoke up his ass. But he would have felt pressured being a guy. I think I just feel for the guy. I understand
Yeah.
why he
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
did
Yeah.
it. Like me, my attitude, because I used to really hate guys that do this before, but I kind of figured out, nah, pre, 5,000. 50 lang yun. It's only 50 pesos. I know
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
only a
yeah.
dollar. I know it's
Yeah.
only a dollar. Huwag mo na akong lokohin, don't. And like the way to do it is if they're trying to outsmart you, you outsmart them by just being funny about it. Like,
Mm, mm.
ikaw like, niloloko mo pa ako But in my mind, pikon na ako. Like, ginagago ako nito Like, this guy's
Yeah, yeah.
But if he doesn't take my joke, I just say, sige, lalakad na lang ako. Okay lang. And then they start running after me. Sige, ano na lang, 50 pesos na lang, 50 pesos. Magkano ba binabayad niyo dito? That's as infuriating as the tricycle drivers that will say,
Yeah.
how much do you usually pay?
See,
Like, how
that's the
much do
thing
I
though.
usually pay? They'll turn it around and say that, ask me how much I would usually pay.
Right, right.
Knowing that that's my first time there.
Right, right. But that to me, that would bring up my second thought into getting into their cab. If they chased after me, for example, he does the driver does the exact same thing, and then I walk away, and then he chases after me. No, no, it's okay. It's only gonna be 40 pesos now, right? Now I don't want to get on his tricycle. I wouldn't want to get into his tricycle because I wouldn't feel safe anymore.
They're just hustling.
Yeah,
I'm not saying
yeah.
it's right, but I wouldn't call it scamming tourists. I would call it just having healthy banter with tourists.
Right,
Just mingling with the tourists and
right.
because no harm, no foul. Like, they just try. If the guy says yes, great. If the guy says no, then he'll find another tricycle. Maybe. I don't know what the situation was. Maybe that
Yeah.
was the only tricycle that was available
I
there.
think kahit maghanap siya ng tricycle, kapag alam nilang turista ka,
Oh.
mapipirahan ka talaga.
And then the dangerous thing about that, if one tricycle driver says 5,000, all the other tricycle drivers will say 5,000 also.
Yeah, I mean that's just
Kaya
ridiculous.
kapag hindi ka
There.
talaga marunong, like sa city,
But
Mm.
again,
nilang tanga eh.
you got to take it as a joke in a sense. Now, yes, they're trying to take advantage of you. Yes, they're trying to scam you. But at the same time, you're like, they're
I'd
trying to scam me.
probably just rent a freaking car. That's just me. You know what I mean?
Which is also another scam. Actually, you got to be careful.
Oh, really?
You really just gotta do your research. It's like, if you don't know,
Yeah.
there's no excuse now for not knowing how much prices should cost.
Mm.
Either
Well, there's no control.
but ask locals. Ask,
Yeah.
I mean, that's, sorry, you're a tourist and you don't know, then find out.
Right.
Google it.
Right.
Right? I mean, yes, I'm not saying that it's right, but if you don't want to be taken advantage of, do your research. And if you're too lazy to do your research, then give yourself $5-10 leeway, give or take.
Just a little bit extra, just in case.
You're just paying for the misinformation that you're getting.
Right,
Parang ganun. I don't know, and it's a game.
Yeah.
Parang I guess it's part of the fun.
Oh, come on. No, don't listen to that, please, people. Don't.
No, because it's gonna ruin my. It used to really ruin my day.
Right.
Like,
Right.
I
You just have to understand that it happens, and then just be careful out there. That's it. That's all you have to say. That's all we have to say. Especially from my point of view, because when I go there, I'm definitely a tourist.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, exactly. So sometimes they play around with it and like, sir, I know 500 or whatever. They try to like get one over me, right? And I don't
Right.
say anything. I don't open my mouth.
Mm.
And then I just nod or whatever. And then I said, kung nagtatagalog ako, 10 piso na lang yan, di ba? Like, all of a sudden, I surprise them that I know how to speak Tagalog, that I am speaking, that I'm actually Filipino.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, sir, ano naman? Like, ano na? Like, it's like,
Oh, because you don't look Filipino as well, though.
sometimes. So I also get one over them, parang
Pinchik
I
na
also
hilaw.
try to feel, and then they feel stupid because they realize that I caught them red-handed kind of thing.
Right,
It's like,
right.
you're just messing around kind of.
Yeah.
It's like, I just imagine it as a bunch of guys fooling around in the locker room. If you fall for it, you're stupid. If you don't fall for it, you're smart or whatever.
Yeah. Makes sense. So
You
be
just-
careful out there, and make sure you watch your back. Never know what's gonna happen.
But again, if you don't want to waste your time, just go find somebody else or
Right.
do your research ahead of time. Really.
Right.
I mean, there's no excuse. You got a phone with you. You got data roaming. There's
Right.
Google. Just sort of find out how much it's supposed to be. But the short answer is, ask the locals also.
True. So moving on, we have been going through. The world has kind of been going through quite a debacle in regards to nature and what happens. What's been happening.
Are you
Philippines having
a weather activist, a climate activist now?
I'm not a climate activist, but it's a bit scary because it's only April in 2024, and we've had numerous earthquakes all over the world,
Yeah.
winds and thunderstorms going crazy. Reason why I just want to bring this up real quick. Holy crap! New York City experienced a 4.8 earthquake, which is not strong at all. Okay, that's walking earthquake type of thing. But
Okay.
it's such a rarity in New York City that this video clip shows everything shaking in New York City. It's crazy.
Let's see it.
Let me know if you can hear it.
Evening, millions of Americans are on alert for aftershocks tonight after a 4.8 magnitude earthquake rattled much of the eastern seaboard. The quake struck right between New York City and Philadelphia, the strongest in the region in more than a century. The earth cam from the top of the Statue of
Ooh.
Liberty capturing the moment. Skyscrapers
That's a nice shot.
shaking, some homes were evacuated. Crews tonight inspecting bridges, rail.
That's a public shot, by the way. I mean, you can find that. I don't have the website, but I can find it and send it to you.
Oh, I didn't know
lines
that.
and tunnels. It was felt by people from Maryland to New Brunswick.
Mm-hmm.
News Andrew Johnson starts us off.
In a region that rarely feels the earth tremble, a Friday morning quake put a scare into people and their pets.
What the hell?
Can I just
Yeah.
say something while we're reacting to this? I don't want to take too much time, but
No.
it's like, do they have to talk like that? CTV National News, Friday, April 5th, 2024.
That's the
It-
standard,
it's like,
okay? That's
here
the standard.
in New York. It's like no, now it's like after watching so much YouTube
The
where
shaking
people talk
interrupting,
normal. When I hear
screaming.
people talking from a news report like this, it's like, it's like
In
it's
a
too
world
much,
where
too much sugar on my coffee.
it's robotic, because that's the standard now. So
No, not robotic. It's like overemphasized. I don't know. Whatever. That's just my thing on it. I don't know. It's just yeah.
this guy got caught during a live stream, and he was so surprised.
Yo, is this an earthquake? In a region that
So basically, in a place like in the eastern seaboard as well, it was just felt where 4.8 is not strong. I don't know if I grew up in San Francisco. I felt earthquake every week, so practically, and 4.8 is not strong at all, and it rattled the entire place. New York City with the old buildings as well, as you can see in the ring cameras and whatnot. The streets were flooded with people as well because everybody just ran out, and it's a scary thing. The earthquake that happened in the Philippines earlier this year as well as Taiwan recently, a couple weeks ago or a week ago. There's just too many things that's going on right now. In China and Brazil, within the last 3 days, storms going as much, and thunderstorms and windstorms as high and as fast as 195 kilometers per hour. I don't know if you've seen this. Have you seen this one?
No.
It's insane. It was literally crushing things in homes. I guess the houses are not built for it in China and Brazil. That these winds were going crazy, and it was a scary thought. That's just outside of it.
According to the National Meteorological Center, strong thunderstorms, strong winds, and hail hit several areas of China, including Chongqing, Hua, Hunan, Fujian, Guangdong, and Kangi, with maximum wind speeds reaching from 170 to 190 kilometers per hour.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Apparently, walls and homes and buildings are getting blown off as well.
In Anchang City, strong winds toppled greenhouses, trees, and streetlights, according to information from local agencies. 4 people were killed and about a dozen others injured in the chaotic weather. Witnesses said 3 of them were thrown out of the room while all the windows and walls were
Look at
blown
that.
out. Another may have been hit by a collapsed roof.
What what makes you say that it's a reset though? Like some people would say, "Oh, it's the end of the world." But
Well,
why
yeah.
the word reset?
Hold on. Take a look at this one. This is just what happened.
Whoa. Wow, there was a
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah. Yeah. Um. Well, it's because it's only April, and I've actually heard people say in the news, "Is the world rebooting itself?"
Yeah.
You know, that was yeah. It sounded funny hearing it, but in a way, thinking about it, with everything that's been going on, um, maybe it is. You know, hopefully it's not to a grand extent, and but it's a scary thought. What if it is? What do people do? Are we prepared for anything like this? With that kind of wind that's going on in China, for example, or even what happened in Brazil, I'm not prepared for that. My household isn't prepared for that. Especially feeling an earthquake here all of a sudden. Holy crap, man! That would scare the crap out of me. You know?
Natural disasters.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, just a quick side note update on my iMac that can't reboot. Finally sent it to the shop. So the deal is it's a legacy model 2015, so it's not part of their servicing anymore. They'll try to put like an old OS on it. It's 3,000 pesos. How much is that in dollars? But 3,000 pesos to get it fixed. If it's
Right.
not fixed, thank you for the 3,000 pesos.
So it's 3,000 pesos either
Yeah.
either way.
Yeah, either way. So I asked the lady on the counter. She's like, "So if it doesn't work, can I just leave it in your office and not pick it up because it's really heavy?" It's gonna be a really big paperweight, and this room
Yeah.
feels so much wider because the iMac is not here. But
Yeah.
man, I miss that guy.
Yeah. Well,
I only got
just hope that it works.
Yeah, so there you go. That's as far as rebooting is concerned. Because I got that flashing question mark folder. And it's not good news, and I tried to reboot it and everything, and it just wouldn't start up.
Yeah. Okay. So we got about 20 minutes left. Let's talk about the big thing. You ready?
Yeah, we have enough time for this, but
Yeah, we got 20 minutes.
I thought I'd bring it up again because some other podcasters, vloggers are also talking about tipping in America again. And it's funny when we talked about it before. I think one of the things that we forgot to mention was how sort of like in your face or how guilty you'd feel if you don't tip there in America. Like they'd make you feel bad that you didn't.
That's exactly what I was trying to say as well. And I'm a victim of that as well because of how it is here, because they make it so that it's really in your face. Can I share this real quick where you can watch it for a couple minutes, and it's gonna really show the whole idea of it being in your face wherever you go. Let me know if you can hear it.
Tip. 25, 20, 18% tip. For what?
Tipping culture has gone way too far.
Nowadays, you're asked for a tip nearly everywhere.
Are we tipping at drive-thrus? 15, 20% on a sweatshirt purchase.
If you're frustrated, you're not alone. A survey by Bankrate found that a third of people are annoyed by those pre-entered tip screens and think tipping culture has gotten
out of control.
Businesses and cities have tried to move away from tipping, but
I don't see any kind of a future where tipping completely goes away.
See, that's what I'm saying, though. This is what I was trying to say the last time, that it's really put out there. It's in your face everywhere you go for the most part, even for the credit card thing. Okay, it's pre-entered tipping amount, 15, 20, whatever type of percent. Or sometimes it doesn't even say custom. You just have to, hey, I don't want to leave this much amount. And then you got to tell the cash register person. Okay, when there's some screens don't have that option. If they figure that out, where they'll put the three predetermined tip figures or percentages, typically it used to have the custom button there or add custom tip where you can just press. And some places I've actually seen they don't have that anymore, which means you got to tell the cash register person, hey, I don't want to leave this much amount, and can you? They'd have to enter some number or whatever, click some buttons, and then it'll give you that option. In a way, most people are not even going to bother asking because it is embarrassing, train of thought wise. So we're not going to end up asking. I have fallen victim to that, because we don't want to be called tip. I mean cheap, or we don't want to be whatever, So it's annoying having to deal with that on a regular basis. Just like that one lady said. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a rant again in this one because it really bothers me. Okay. That lady said you go to a drive-through, okay? At the end of it, when you swipe your card, it's asking for that exact same thing, okay? A lot of them, like for example, Burger King, when you swipe your card, it gives you that predetermined figures, okay? But it doesn't have the custom buttons, or it doesn't have the add button. I gotta tell the delivery, I mean the register person at the drive-through, I don't want to leave this much. That's embarrassing for train of thought wise. So which means I'm automatically gonna press 15%. Granted, it might be $1, $1.05, or whatever based on what you're buying, but still, the idea is ridiculous. What kind of service are they providing for you through a drive-through when they're not providing any services? They're doing their jobs, which in my brain does not constitute or entitle you for any kind of tip. Same thing when you go to a restaurant or any kind of regular fast food where you have to walk up to the counter, order, and then pick up your own food. Why would I leave a tip if you're just doing your job? You are not doing anything. Every food place that you go to has that. You even go to a clothing store like Zara, 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 the shopping clothing store in the mall. Their fucking register, their register at the end has those options. I'm like, for what? What? Oh my God. I'm just saying.
Yeah,
I'm just saying because it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm already spending $40 for a tank top, and you have to put that automatically there? Come on, shut up. Get out of here, dude.
When you go to a surplus store, do you have to tip the guys also?
It's everywhere. I'm not kidding. The rarity of seeing that, if you go to Walmart or Costco, they don't have that. Okay. But in other places, I have seen it. Like if you go to BJ's.
Can you imagine going to an ukay-ukay here in the Philippines? These are the hand-me-down, second-hand.
Yeah.
The part of the fun, or some people call it scamming, part of the fun is, yung tawaran, di ba? That you're haggling for prices. Like 250, hindi, 300, 250 na lang. O sige, 275, ganyan. So, nag-aanohan sila, di ba?
They don't have that here.
Yeah. Yun nga,
here,
it's funny. This is...
in America, they look at bartering like as a bad thing. Really? No.
Bartering or haggling?
Both. Bartering or haggling.
But ito yung nakakatawa sa America kung pagtatawanan natin. If we're gonna make fun of the culture, it's like you guys just don't want to lose. Sa Tagalog, I think it sounds funnier in Tagalog. Ayaw niyo magpatalo eh. It's like if you're gonna do like shooting or heinous crimes like the kids do there, like go mass shooting and kill each other and do
that's a horrible comparison or analogy.
Yeah, it is. But what I mean is like everything happens.
Paasa ng fried kasi.
Everything is just crazy.
Right.
Like, as all the way down to tipping. It's like we're not just gonna tip. We're not gonna just give a little.
We're automatically gonna put it.
We're not gonna just give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5%. We're gonna give 10, 20%. 30%. It's like go big or go home. Like,
man, listen. A couple of weeks ago, we went to one of our favorite restaurants that we go to that has really, really good food. Okay, I noticed at the tip, at the end of the receipt, the tip, the pre-calculated amount, it went up from 18 to 20 to 22%. I'm not even joking. It says 20%, 22%, 25%. The bill was already over $150. Can you imagine that?
What happens if you don't tip? Do they kick you out? Do they tell you?
I mean, they're not going to kick you out, but I don't know. Most people are not. most people here are just not going to barter in regards to that. I am starting to learn that I don't need to put that exact amount there, but I'm not going to go cheap on them as well. I'm not going to put below 15%,
Yeah, you
but
should look at the history of tipping. Ito si Tin was saying, I think we mentioned this before, may mga restaurants that expect you to or hope that you would tip.
Yeah.
right.
There's like three kinds of restaurants. The totally ones that don't accept or don't. It would,
Oh, you're talking about in the Philippines.
yeah, they'd laugh at you if you left a tip, like a carinderia. You don't leave a tip
Right.
there, or a fast food restaurant,
Right.
maybe.
Pag 5-star here, you need to,
Yun, pag 5-star, you really need to leave a tip. And then there's like a middle ground kind of restaurant. I can't think of an
Right.
example right now, but you know what I mean? It's like not all places are tipping equal. Some
Yeah.
places they'd make fun of you or find it weird if you did leave a tip. And then
Mhm,
there's some
mhm.
places that find it weird that you don't leave a tip, like they expect you to.
Right.
So may
Right.
ganun din. Pero what I mean is it's understandable. Parang it's still your right. Kumbaga, I think that's
So
where we haven't jumped off the deep end yet here as far
so
as
here
tipping is concerned.
here's the flip side of that in regards to tipping here as well. Okay. The worst part about it here is people that work in that industry, in that particular industry, that actually deserves or should be tipped, are getting too entitled. Okay.
Yun.
I'm gonna call it out real quick. There's a Starbucks down the street right here. Okay. The closest Starbucks to my place, the Starbucks right here, right next to Lidl. Okay, the grocery store, or right by the whatever, the Planet Fitness gym that I go to. First of all, you guys that work there need to step your game up. You guys act like you deserve every freaking tip that you do, but every time that I go there, either a drive-through or in person, everybody looks like they hate their jobs and don't want to be there. Everybody. I'm not even kidding. I have yet to experience somebody that works there that actually does not mind doing their job. Everybody looks like they're pissed off. Everybody looks like they're just mad at the world. Everybody looks like they hate their job. And then when you don't get tipped, which I've experienced firsthand, a couple people in front of me in the line left maybe $1 or whatever, or didn't tip. And then the person at the register was like, "Oh, you're not going to leave a tip?" Said that. That particular kind of job is a job that you need to have good customer service with, so that you can get good tips.
Mm-mm.
But these people over there, for some reason, I'm sure they're good people in their own rights, but for crying out loud, step your game up, do your job. Otherwise, find something else where you don't need to smile or to be present in front of everybody. That's it.
Do they get tips both front and back of house? Like chefs also get the tips in the back?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I've been out of that game for so long that before, when I used to work at a manager coffee shop, it's split between front and back.
Yeah, here
I don't know how it
they
is now.
They really make it a point. They make sure that the people at the back also get.
Here kasi, like, maghahati pa yung may-ari ng
Parang-
owner ng store and then yung staff.
Yeah, the good and the bad thing about here is when you leave a tip, in the back of your mind, you're leaving a tip for your particular personal server, right?
As it should be.
Right, but what happens here, whether it's a good or a bad thing, is the entire staff, I think, and I could be wrong about this, but I mean, I don't work for a restaurant, but from little experience that I've had with my restaurateur friends, they expect it. They don't expect that tip to go to their personal pocket, even if they were the one specifically that served me. That tip that I leave goes to the back of the house also, because the chefs, the garbage guys expect a little bit from there too. That's the good and the bad naman about it. It's not specifically just for the server.
Yeah. See, here, I never personally worked as a server. I've helped supervise a kitchen and the front of the house at the hotel that I worked at before, the last hotel that I worked at, because I was a floating manager. So back then, this was close to 20 years ago, okay, mind you. Actually, yeah, close to 20 years ago. Your tip is based on each person. At that point, when I left, that was just the time where they started to pull all the tips together. and then break it divide it up evenly to the servers or whatever. I hate that idea because there's always a number of people who automatically think, oh, we're gonna pool and divide up the tips anyway. So they ended up not doing much work, or they're being a pain in the ass about it, and it sucks. I mean, like I said, at that hotel that I worked at, I was always floating around as a supervisor. I could tell which people were making a lot of money. You know what I mean? There's this one guy. This was a small hotel. There's this one guy who's a server who was making, I kid you not, he worked 5 days a week, all right? 8 hours a day. He would clear on a daily basis, on a slow day, $200. That's on a slow day.
Nice. It sounds like the problem with your system or the culture that you guys are milking as far as tipping is concerned. But you don't have a choice. It's there on the card.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't really have like options.
No, not anymore.
You're kind of still free because cash is still king, sort of, around
Well,
here, diba?
yeah, because back then it wasn't really standardized. People would expect they would tip like, okay, based on your service as well. But there's a lot of people that would tip $2 on $100 check, which is kind of ridiculous. You know what I mean? That's not worth it to most people, and then people get pissed off about it. You know, which it's fine. You know, I think that's why they started the whole levels of percentages and whatnot.
Remember, yung nag-apply ako ng chef dyan sa Alabang. Nasa kontrata. Ilalagay talaga nila sa kontrata pag yung tip nagbigay sa'yo, automatic dapat nandun sa yung 20%.
It's in the contract.
Yeah, like, ikukulong ka nila sa contract.
I don't understand that. Why would the tip be in the contract?
Like, pag yung sales ko kasi, pag ako lang yung nakabenta, hindi daw pwede yun. Hindi ko pinirmahan yung kontrata na yun.
She didn't accept the job.
Yeah,
Kasi,
that's
paano
crazy.
ako yung bibenta, tapos bigla akong ibibigay na lang sa iba. Parang, hindi naman sila gumalaw. Diba?
Right. Yun nga yung sinasabi ko.
Yeah.
You know,
the good and the bad about it is that it's for everybody.
Right.
Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, that's the thing that they agree to. Now the tip will be shared by everybody because the flip side of that is like not everybody is working
hard.
Exactly.
And so therefore, what else? But they expect a cut from that.
It's the same thing with the concept of here. Okay, it's notorious here in restaurants here as well. If your party is 6 or more, they automatically tack in either 20 or 22% in your bill. Okay, I hate that. Especially my family. In some restaurants, it's 5 or more. Okay, they consider that large group. My family has 5, but it's 3 kids. You know, so they automatically tack on the tips on that. But you can tell you can definitely tell. I'm not saying everybody again, okay, but there's a lot out there when it's large group. They love it because they look at it like, oh, it's less work.
Just go in there and pretend like you guys don't know each other.
Yeah. You know,
right?
It all ties down to like all these other things though. It's annoying, especially if it's large groups, especially here. Again, in the Philippines, your waiter takes care of everything. Takes your order, delivers your food, checks on you, fills your cup, and then brings you your check. Here, there's your waiter. Okay? Your waiter will take your order. We'll touch back on you. Oh, did you get your order? Let me check on your order. But there's a food runner, which is a different person that brings your food. Okay? Typically, that food runner or that waiter maybe will refill your drinks or whatnot. Okay? And then there's somebody, your waiter. In some cases, you won't see your waiter again until you get your food delivered because they'll check on you. It's like, oh, did everything come out right? After that, you're rarely going to see that person again until you need your check. You know, and then there's a different person that's cleaning your table afterwards. Come on, dude.
It's a whole team. But here, listen, let me throw in a couple of trivia tidbits here for you before your high blood pressure goes even higher. The practice of tipping seems to have started in Europe back in the Middle Ages, a period which lasted about 500 to 1500 AD, when the wealthy would give people in lower classes extra money for their services. So it's all about, higher and lower classes. And then for
Right.
the U.S., though, according to the cultural historian Carrie Segrave in
Mm-hmm.
Tipping
Mm-hmm.
Social History, the practice only took off in America after the Civil War, when the
Correct.
Americans began to travel to Europe in greater numbers under the
Right.
influence of the Gilded Age. These newly well-off Americans imported the aristocratic practice. So the thing is, here in the Philippines, I couldn't find much about the history of tipping. I assume that it came from the cultures that came here.
Right.
Again, aristocratic, also Spanish, Filipino, or American and Filipino. And somebody put it down in just a few words. Answer is very simple for here in the Philippines. Like, why didn't we catch on to the crazy culture of tipping in America?
Mm-hmm.
Because we're poor. It's like parang there have been maybe not so true as much now anymore. Maybe there's some people that rose up in the financial classes or what. But I guess we've just been so oppressed and poor for such a long time that parang tipping has never really, you know what I mean? There wasn't
Yeah.
like
It's
any
never
really
it's never picked up basically.
golden ages where everybody's all rising up and like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're aristocratic now, we can start giving tips away.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Parang,
Mm-hmm.
yes, it's sort of catching on, but very sort of select circles. It's not really still, you know what I mean? If you're
Yeah.
part of the masses or the madlang people, we still have our heads screwed on in
Right.
such a
Right.
way that we're not ridiculous about, like, we'll show you how rich we are. Here's a tip. You know?
Can I just say one thing real quick, because I know I'm gonna get people that's gonna be pissed off about this, about what I said. Yes, I was complaining about having a server and a busser and all that stuff. I do understand it creates jobs. Okay, I understand that, but technically, it's like taking away the job from what the waiters need to do in a way. You know what I mean? Because as far as I've known, what the waiter does, all of that they're supposed to be doing to begin with.
What's happening though? Is there like a tipping revolution that's brewing now in the U.S.? What's going on? Why are people
It's just
like, complaining
everywhere.
and talking
It's
about
because
it a lot?
it's became
Out of control.
out of control and an entitled situation. Like
Mhm.
everybody is supposedly doing this and that, they're serving you, which means it's basically become anybody that's working in any sort of customer service industry, they deserve a tip. That's what that is,
I think
at least
bottom
from my
line of
point of view.
my argument about my experience here in the Philippines, I'm just not aristocratic enough to even comment on the tipping situation here in the Philippines.
You don't have to
because
be
I don't-
aristocratic enough for it. It's just a matter of recognizing the type of service or the good service that's being provided for you, which I believe
Yeah.
entitles you or you deserving of a good tip. That's it.
Yeah, but it never goes beyond $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10. It's always just maybe $1, maybe $2 extra.
It depends
Maybe.
really, and that's based on on each customer. Now the customer service rep just becomes entitled in it. It's like, oh, you're so cheap. Ugh, that you're only giving me $2. Like if
Yeah.
like the bellboys in the hotels. All right. Oh, the guy gave me $2. What the hell? It's your job to deliver the bags up there. If somebody tips you, you accept the tip and appreciate of it, no matter what. And if they don't tip you, fine. You're still getting paid by your job.
Yeah.
In the restaurant or the food industry, yes, some restaurants pay you minimum wage still or even lower because of your tips. Well, that's you guys' fault for bitching about it too much.
I guess it's all part of the POS or the terminal that they use for the credit card and that kind of thing. It's sort of part ingrained into the system already.
It's
But as
programmed
far
in
as-
there already, yeah.
But as far as contracts are concerned, is it ever in the contract about the
No.
tipping?
No. That's
so
that's based on each establishment.
So that's the funny thing here. So here, it's not necessarily automatic what we pay, but
Right.
I guess it's automatic for the contract for some people.
That kind of surprises me because I don't know why that would be in the contract in the Philippines to begin with. I don't know why. It shouldn't be. Because wherever you are in the world, okay, your pay should be your base pay. Everything else after that is based on the performance that you provide, which in hindsight, the tipping. Okay. If you're going to get tipped, it's never going to be the same amount. It's for the kind of service that you provide. That's it. I mean, I believe that it should be that way.
Yeah, but I guess it's not the same for everyone.
No. And again, we get heat on the comments that we did on the last time we actually talked about tipping. And it a lot of it, to be honest with you, were from people from the, I guess, the food and beverage industry. Stop telling me that I don't understand or I don't want to hear it. I'm telling you that right now before you comment on anything else. I have experienced both front and back of that, as well as in the admin and management section of that. So I know how it is. I understand a lot of the pay is lower than minimum wage in some cases because you're being told you generate your income from your tips. That's fine. Then what that should tell you enough that, you know what, do the right thing and work harder so you can get tipped more. Now, you can't blame people if they don't tip you enough. Don't take it out on them. Don't give them a sneeze sandwich or a noogie burger or whatever, because a lot of restaurants do that, unfortunately. And it sucks. It's horrible. It puts a bad rap on that industry.
Hey,
sorry.
I want to take back just a little bit of what I said about, being the Philippines and we're not like big tippers kind of thing. I think it's worth to mention also, like maybe you're talking about tipping in, like service industry kind of thing.
Right.
Here,
right.
the tipping, the ones that they've been trying to fix are the fixers in like government offices.
Really?
Where,
that's backup. That's
grease
red
money
tape
to get your papers moving
Yeah.
forward. I think
there's a lot of scam there.
Yeah, there's but I think before they turn a blind eye to it and sort of just hope that it would go away. Now I think they're a bit more stringent on it. So that's another. I tip my hat to government agencies that have been
That's
working.
a Filipino thing because I've experienced that here when I had to get my passport fixed for the Philippine passport. I went to the Philippine embassy. Okay. I had a friend that knew somebody that worked there, and you just have to slip a couple of dollars inside the passport when you give it to them so that they can make it quicker.
Yeah, so they move countries, Philippines to the U.S., but they take the same habits with them.
Yeah.
And it's still the same, except the currency is different.
Yeah.
So yeah, it happens everywhere.
What can we do about it? Nothing.
Going back to the tricycle driver a while ago, just have fun with it, I guess. Right?
Full circles, right? Full circles.
Yeah, because it's a different industry, government, and then there's tourists, and then there's cultural
Right,
awareness
right.
about it, and there's different types of levels, types of restaurants, kind of thing. But I don't know. You just have
You know
to
what
be.
though? For me, watching that video with again going back into Four Circles, that tricycle driver, the scam that he did, and then even mentioning the whole tipping thing, watching that kind of stuff, I feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that just me, or is it like nakakahiya yung feeling?
Nakakaya.
Ang tanga-tanga.
Oh.
Sino yung tanga?
Yeah.
Yung tricycle driver or yung turista?
Turista.
Yung turista.
Tanga-tanga dun siya, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Yun eh, like I said, I'll go back to $5, $6, $10. It's just spare change for that guy. I'm sure it's not
But
even the big
come
deal.
on, that's a horrible train of thought, though. It's the principle of it.
No, not saying that it's right, but I'm thinking like I'm shooting a video.
Oh.
It's just 250 pesos. I'm
Right.
going to be reacting and watching this video. I'll pay the 300 pesos that I'm going to pay this scammy tricycle driver is worth it for the views that I'm going to get out of this video.
Yeah, tapos hindi pa niya sinunod, 'di ba? Sinabi siya ng girl dun sa exchange, na
Well, too late
sabi
na.
niya 250, 'di ba? 250, sabi niya.
Uh-uh.
Sabi nung girl, wag. Ginagano na siya, like hindi pa rin siya sumunod. Ikaw yung tanga.
Well, too late na rin kasi are you gonna risk
Hindi.
your life and getting
mag-complain or like, gusto mo barangay tayo di ba?
Pero
Ganun lang yun eh.
an award still needs to be given for trying the 5,000
for the tricycle driver?
5,000 pesos tricycle ride. Lifetime.
When I heard that at first, I'm like, man.
That would be lifetime libreng sakay na yun.
Yeah. Tapos gusto pa ikot, turn around pa. sige na, iikot kita, turn around, 5,000.
Oh,
Tapos yung ikot
man.
lang nila, like, dun na sa likod ng
just going
simbahan.
around the church.
Right. Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying though. It's like, bravo to the guy as well, like you said, pero at the same time, it's like, come on, man. Do you have to though?
Hustle.
Yeah.
You gotta shoot for the stars. you gotta give him credit for trying. Diba?
Kaya sorry na lang yung mga nabibihag ng mga yan.
Yeah, guys, Google. I'm sure they tried it. I'm sure
Right.
they know, but how much are you willing to lose?
So I was sitting down on the couch when I got that video from Tin.
Oh.
I watched it. Mag-isa lang ako pero nahiya ako. Ako pa yung nahiya
it's
for the
embarrassing.
Filipino people in a way,
I felt that, but I also felt that the guy taking the video was also like, one
Pushing
upping
it.
the tricycle driver, knowing that I'm gonna get a lot of views on this video.
Yeah, it's like,
just
ha
also
ha
didn't
ha,
feel-
sucker. I'm gonna.
It didn't feel genuine to me that he really didn't know. Like it felt to me that he knew, but I take that back. No, the 5,000 pesos was a bit over the top. But I'm sure he was just playing the long game with the 250, 300 pesos kind of thing.
Right.
He knew
Right.
he knew that he was making a
Like,
viral video.
like, mahiya ka naman, mag-antay ka na lang kung bibigyan ka ng tip. Yung ganun na lang sana.
Yeah, pero kung
Yeah,
hindi mo
pero
if you
hindi
don't try,
mangyayari yun eh.
Hindi, may mga
You
naman,
know?
may mga foreigner naman talaga na, yun, nag-effort ka, like, mabibigyan ka eh.
One of the most famous quotes in the Philippines is try and try until you succeed.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Literally,
Yeah.
Filipinos live by it.
or yun nga, like,
Wag
give him
mong
credit.
pangunahan, kumbaga.
Give him credit for trying.
Right.
He needs an award.
Eto ka, natatawa ako
kapal
dito.
ng muka.
Yeah.
You know?
Natatawa ako dito eh. Like, di ba naglalala-move kami?
Oh.
Bumiyahe kami. Pagkasama niya ako, lagi may tip kami.
Mm.
Bibigyan kami ng customer, sabi niya sa akin,
Para-paraan.
magpakita ka kasi ng legs para mas mataas.
Oo.
Para-paraan.
Kailangan.
Sir,
Yeah.
diba sir?
Yeah.
Deliver po namin yung item niyo on time,
Hi.
sir.
Hi, good evening po. Nandito na ho yung delivery nyo. Diba? It's like,
Good morning,
tapos,
sir.
pag naka-sweater ka, ganun mo lang ng konti o pag naka-sweater. If you're wearing a sweater, just a little bit, It's like,
Yeah.
delivery's here.
Yeah, with girls, with Tin, she'd say, Lala, move po.
Yeah.
For us
Oh
Ginaganon
guys,
my
we'd say,
god.
Lala,
I
move.
saw that. You know what? It's funny. It's funny if it was like a
Ating
joke.
naman yung nare-receive natin, 50 pesos, 20
Yeah,
pesos.
but
See? Nakakakolek ako.
The funny thing is, Tin actually does that because you posted a video where she was on the phone like this. It's like, Lala, move, sir. We're here already.
Yeah. Sobrang galang. Like, bigyan mo na effort.
Like in the
Eto
back
kasi
of my mind,
mainitin
like,
ulo eh.
hurry up, time's ticking, let's go.
Yeah.
Let's end with this quote though. I think it was Jose Rizal that said something like, walang magpapaloko kung walang manloloko kung walang magpapaloko. Was that Jose Rizal that said that?
Yeah.
I like to think that Jose Rizal said that. Walang manloloko kung walang
Not Jose.
magpapaloko.
Not Jose from the Canto. It's Jose Rizal.
But if we translate that in English for our English-speaking friends, like just do your darn research and don't be a fool.
Nobody gets scammed if there's no scammers.
Unless you're doing a viral video and you know about it,
Yeah.
And maybe it's worth the extra $5, $6, $7 if you want to spend that much for it. That's my thing.
Right. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us today. Again, thanks, Christine, for your presence, and thank you very much for everything else. As always, listen, we don't know if we're going to have an episode tomorrow. That depends. But for sure, next recording is definitely going to be on Wednesday. Regarding tomorrow, Monday, we're going to play it by ear again. Anything else you want to add on?
No, that's it.
That's
Thanks
it?
for
Additional lang ako.
Ah.
Congrats, Tristan. Mention ko lang.
Oh yeah, we watched our inaanak to
Yeah.
do the fencing thing today.
Oh,
You know,
nice.
just a little nugget before I go. Philippine sports, it's like they only get paid. They only have an allowance if they're like top
Yo.
4, 5.
Yeah.
Top 4 of like. Can you imagine if there's like maybe 10, 20 of you in the Philippine
Yeah.
team and only the top 5 get
get
allowance. Parang ano yun? Like you're part of the Philippine team and then not everybody gets an allowance. Parang versus like other countries, if you're part of, let's say, the Team Korea or whatever, like everybody gets paid whether you're top ranking or not.
Same idea sa ballerina. Kung hire ka,
it's just
like ikaw yung bibigyan ng pera.
I think in any sport it's like that though in the Philippines.
Ganun ba? No, that's what I mean in the Philippines, but in other countries, yun, but like they really pay for or invest in their athletes is what I'm saying.
Ikaw yung invest nila sa ibang country
Yun
kasi.
nga, pero top 4 lang. May budget naman eh. The way I see it, we have a budget. Except
budget para dun sa talagang
dun sa top 4 lang.
Kasi sila talaga yung nag-effort.
I don't agree with that. I think the whole team.
Ako, I agree.
I think the top 4 wouldn't be there with the other 15 or 20 teammates.
Yeah, but making the team itself, it should be enough.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
if the 20 people on the team beat out God knows how many people.
Yun nga.
So that's what I agree on. Yeah, they should be stipend for it no matter what.
That's my opinion. Pero nakakalungkot lang. I just have a heart for the Philippine athletes.
Hindi mo pa kasi na-experience. Like me, ako nag-model ako, nakatanggap ng
yun nga, pero ibig ko sabihin, basta.
Iba lang you know what? That's a different topic on its own. We're definitely going to we're going to talk about that on the next. We could talk about that on the next episode as well.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for joining us. The people on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook for stopping by. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Please like and subscribe. Follow us. Whatever you need to do, it's greatly appreciated. Again, this is The Flip Side with Jay and Noel. My name is Jay.
Can we leave a tip before we go? My name is Noel.
Oh, we'll catch you guys later. That's
On
a
the
good
flip
one.
side.
Let's see you. Catch us in the next episode, Wednesday, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Philippines. This is The Flip Side with Jay and Noel.